Ethan noticed her the night everything began to change, though at the time, it felt like nothing more than a small kindness in a long, quiet life. He was sitting alone in a corner cafe in Portland, the kind of place where the lights were always warm and the rain tapped softly against the windows. Ethan was 42, carrying years of routine and responsibility on his shoulders. His marriage had ended 2 years earlier, not with anger, but with silence. Since then, his days had blended together, steady and safe, but empty. She approached his table with a gentle smile, holding an extra cup of coffee. "I think they made one too many," she said, her voice light and unsure. "Do you want it?" Her name was Lily. She was 26, with curious eyes and an ease about her that didn't try too hard. Ethan almost said no. He was used to keeping distance. But something in the way she waited, hopeful and kind, made him nod. From that moment, she became a familiar presence, not always sitting with him, not always talking. Sometimes she only waved from across the room. Sometimes she asked how his day had been. She never pushed, never asked personal questions. It felt harmless, comfortable. Ethan told himself she was just being kind. They began to talk more over time, about small things. Music playing in the cafe, books on the shelves, the weather that never seemed to decide what it wanted. Lily talked about her job at a local design studio, how she loved colors and light, how she felt lost sometimes, but excited anyway. Ethan listened more than he spoke. When he did speak, it surprised him how easily the words came. He never mentioned his age. She never asked. There were moments that felt strange, though. Lily remembered everything. How he liked his coffee, which chair he always chose, the way his face softened when he talked about the ocean, even though he hadn't seen it in years. Once, she noticed a small scar on his hand and asked how he got it. When he brushed it off, she didn't press, but her eyes stayed on him a little longer than necessary. One evening, the cafe closed early due to a power issue. Outside, the rain had turned heavier, the street nearly empty. "You can wait here until it slows down," Ethan said, surprising himself. She smiled. "Only if you don't mind." They stood under the awning, close enough to feel each other's warmth. Ethan felt aware of everything then. The sound of her breathing, the faint scent of her shampoo, the way she tucked her hair behind her ear when she was nervous. "Can I ask you something?" Lily said quietly. "Of course. Do you ever feel like your life already happened, and now you're just watching it from the outside?" The question caught him off guard. It was too close to something he never said out loud. "Yes," he admitted. "More often than I like." She looked at him with a softness that felt almost painful. "I don't see you that way." He laughed, unsure. "You don't really know me." "I know enough," she said. After that night, things shifted. Lily began waiting for him on purpose, saving his seat, texting him when he didn't show up, though he didn't remember giving her his number. When he asked about it, she just smiled and said, "You left it on the table once." Ethan felt a quiet pull he didn't understand. He told himself it was attention, nothing more, that the age difference made anything else impossible, that she was young and friendly and kind to everyone. But one evening, as they walked together toward the parking lot, Lily stopped under a streetlight. Her expression was serious now, stripped of its usual ease. "Ethan," she said, her voice trembling just slightly, "I need to tell you something." He turned to face her, a strange tension settling in his chest. She took a breath, as if steadying herself, and looked straight into his eyes. "I wasn't just being kind." The words stayed between them, heavy and unfinished. Ethan felt his heart slow, then race, as if it could not decide what to do next. "I wasn't just being kind," Lily repeated, quieter now. Rain moved around them, the streetlight shining on her face. Ethan searched for a smile, for something playful that would ease the moment, but there was nothing playful there. Only honesty and fear. "What do you mean?" he asked. Lily looked away first. "I mean, I didn't sit near you by accident. I didn't talk to you because I felt sorry for you. I noticed you the first night I saw you." Ethan felt a tightness in his chest. "Lily, you don't understand. I'm I know how old you are, she said quickly, turning back to him. I figured it out weeks ago. The way you talk, the things you've lived through. I looked you up after I found your last name on a receipt. That startled him. Not because it felt wrong, but because it felt intentional. And you still kept coming back? He asked. Yes. There was no shame in her voice. Only certainty. They stood in silence, the rain filling the space where words should have been. Ethan wanted to step back. He knew he should. Everything in his life had taught him to choose what was safe, what was expected. But his feet stayed where they were. You're young, he said finally. You don't know what you're getting into. I know exactly what I'm getting into, Lily replied. A man who listens. A man who feels deeply and hides it because he's afraid of needing someone again. Her words landed softly, but they hit something raw inside him. That's not fair, he said. I'm not trying to be fair, she said. I'm trying to be honest. They walked in silence after that, each step feeling heavier than the last. When they reached their cars, Lily stopped again. I don't expect anything, she said. I just needed you to know. Ethan went home that night restless and confused. He replayed every moment with her, searching for signs he should have noticed sooner. Her patience, her attention, the way she looked at him like he mattered. It scared him more than loneliness ever had. Over the next few days, he didn't go to the café. He told himself it was the right thing to do. That distance would fix everything. But Lily texted him. I'm not angry. The message read. Just hoping you're okay. He didn't reply. Another day passed. I miss talking to you. That night, Ethan stared at his phone for a long time before typing back. I don't want to hurt you. Her reply came fast. You won't. Not by being honest. They met again, this time for a walk along the river. The air was cool, the city lights reflected on the water. There was space between them now, but also something stronger pulling them closer. I've been through a lot, Ethan said quietly. I'm tired. I don't want to start something I can't finish. Lily nodded. I'm not asking for promises. I'm asking for a chance to feel what this is. He studied her face, so open, so sure of herself in a way he had never been at her age. He realized then that what frightened him most was not her youth, but how alive she made him feel. They stopped walking. Lily reached out, hesitated, then let her hand fall back to her side. I care about you, she said. More than I planned to. Ethan felt something shift inside him, something he had locked away. He leaned closer, not touching her, but close enough to feel the truth of the moment. I care about you too, he admitted. Her breath caught. The space between them felt electric. But before either of them could move closer, Ethan's phone buzzed in his pocket. He glanced at the screen and froze. It was a message from his ex-wife. We need to talk. It's important. Ethan looked back at Lily, his face suddenly distant. I'm sorry, he said. There's something I haven't told you. Her expression changed, worry replacing hope. Ethan did not answer Lily's questions that night. He only apologized again and said he needed time. She nodded, even though the disappointment was clear in her eyes. When she walked away, it felt like something fragile had slipped through his hands. The next morning, he met his ex-wife, Rachel, at a quiet diner across town. She looked the same, calm and composed, but her hands trembled slightly around her coffee cup. I didn't come to reopen old wounds, Rachel said. I came because I'm moving. Out of state. Ethan felt a strange mix of relief and sadness. When, in a month, she hesitated. I also wanted to tell you. I'm seeing someone. He nodded, forcing a small smile. I hope you're happy. I am, she said gently. And I want you to be too. Her words followed him all the way home. He realized then how much weight he had been carrying without knowing it. His past was not holding him anymore. He had been holding himself back. That evening, he went to the café. Lily was there, sitting in her usual spot, sketchbook open but untouched. When she saw him, she stood up slowly, unsure. I owe you the truth, Ethan said. They walked outside, the familiar rain just beginning again. He told her everything. About his marriage. About the fear of starting over. about the message that had scared him into thinking he would lose himself again. Lily listened without interrupting. When he finished, she took a breath. "I never wanted to replace anyone in your life," she said. "I just wanted a place in it." "You already have one," he said softly. "I was just too afraid to admit it." She looked at him, searching his face. "What changed?" "I realized that kindness doesn't stay that way when it keeps showing up," he replied. "At some point, it becomes a choice." The rain grew heavier, but neither of them moved. Ethan reached for her hand, this time without hesitation. She squeezed it back, her eyes shining. "I don't know where this will lead," he said. "I only know I don't want to walk away anymore." Lily smiled through tears. "That's all I wanted." Their first kiss was gentle and unsure, but full of meaning. It was not rushed or dramatic. It felt earned. Months passed. Their relationship was not perfect, but it was real. There were moments of doubt, conversations about age, about time, about the future. They faced them together, honestly. One evening, as they sat on Ethan's balcony watching the city lights, Lily rested her head on his shoulder. "Do you ever think about that first night?" she asked. He smiled. "All the time. You really thought I was just being kind." "I did," he said. "I had no idea you were changing my life." She laughed softly. "I had no idea either." Ethan looked at her then, truly looked at her, and felt something he had not felt in years. Not fear, not regret, but gratitude. He had learned that love does not always arrive loudly. Sometimes it comes quietly, disguised as kindness, waiting for courage to let it stay.